Perfect.
What's the motherfucking deal? Welcome to Sauce Sports. If you're not familiar with Sauce Sports, Sauce Sports is Houston, Texas Homer Network. Means we talking all sports, but only Houston. But tonight we're going to get into a little bit of conversation. Looking forward to next week's game, or this week's game on Saturday, which is odd, but hey, it is what it is. Against the New York Jets, man. We got a gentleman from the round table joining us this evening, man. Who we got in the mix with us tonight from the round?
You got your boy Third Coast Sports TV winking the building once again. Good seeing y'all.
Already. So like I say, man, we're going to talk a little cash shit tonight, man. We're going to discuss what's taking place, what's in our face, how the Texans can bounce back from the L that we took, against Indianapolis. It was what it was. Things come full circle. So, you can't complain about it too much. It is what it is. That's where we started the streak. That's where we ended the streak. But we'll bring it all back like it's supposed to be. But before we get into all that, man, we got to talk about something a little bit more important in the game. We got to talk about something a little bit more important than all the rest of those things, and that is you, Sauce Nation, the freshest motherfucking ingredients in the world. Again, hey, if you don't know how we do this, man, we're going to get into a little Sauce Nation roll call. That means that we just want to show y'all a little bit of love for the fact y'all come through every night, or every night we go live on all the videos and everything like that, showing love, and send a little bit of love back. So, hey, if you are from the greater Houston area, man, shout out your side with pride. If you're not from the city, if you're not from the greater Houston area, you're not anywhere in the vicinity, man, it's all good. We still got love for you because you're fucking with the flavor, man. Hey, all you got to do is let us know where you're at. We're going to send a little love in your direction. And then after that, we're going to dive into it, man. We're going to get some good conversation going. Then we're going to open up the sauce line, let y'all call in, want to hear y'all's thoughts. And like I say, shit. You know what? Matter of fact, look, we doing it old school. It's a Wink Wednesday, man. Look, I forgot it was Wednesday. Now I'm thinking it's like a Tuesday. We ain't done a Wink Wednesday in a while. So it's all
we
good.
haven't addressed it in such months now.
Yeah, it's been a while. We've been doing so much, around everybody else. Has some things going on. So it worked out old school. We bring the expert old school flavor for y'all, man. So let's see what we got in the mix, man. Quincy Jones, Rogelio. Oh, I'm hoping I'm saying it. Rogelio Mora. Muthaf. Where the Muthaf at now? Rogelio Mora. S.A. Steve-O, what's the motherfucking deal? Ryan Woodside. Ryan, I don't know. That's a unique way of spelling. You getting all technical and shit, getting all fancy with it. That's cool, though. Ryan Woodside. Ryan, I don't know what the fuck. I keep saying it look like Ryan. Homer Side nigga. Car owner, what's the motherfucking deal? Heidi over there doing crossovers and layups in a room with a paper ball shooting at the trash can and shit.
Yeah. Scheiße. We the same.
Joshua, what's the motherfucking deal? David Muhammad, man. Darren Davis, Swisher, a.k.a. in the house, man. Mr. Luke, what's the motherfucking deal? Mello, what's the motherfucking deal? Miss Voodoo, see one half of the great and moderating couple in all the land. Always good to see you. Scrooston, motherfucking takeover, man. That boy, what's the motherfucking deal? Maxwell Clark, 409 in the house. Jack Triple, the motherfucking pimp. Voodoo, the other half of the greatest moderated couple in all the land. J-Bird, I don't know which personality of J-Bird it is tonight. He got about 50 fucking accounts. So whichever J-Bird you are tonight, what's the motherfucking deal? Miguel, Roman Kemp, what's the motherfucking deal? Dave's always good to see you. Cool Amber, what's the motherfucking deal? Man, Vampire Lord, let's see. Edwin Batiste, what's the motherfucking deal? H-Town Showstoppers, good to see all y'all, man. Leonard Avery, what's the motherfucking deal? I'm glad y'all could join us this evening. The nigga who could. Tenny, Toxic City, Tenny in the motherfucking house. What's the motherfucking deal, man? Yeah. Look, we got summer camps. Y'all got fun camps. We don't want to go to them German camps. We know how y'all get over there. So again, like, you know what I'm saying, it's all good. It's all love, man. Like I said, we're going to talk some Jets, man. We're going to talk about what the Texans need to be looking out for. We need to talk about some key things in this matchup. But I'm going to be straight up and honest with y'all, man. I'm going to keep it 100% real with y'all. Me and Wing was kind of discussing right before we went live, man. As high as I've been on the Texans, this whole season. The time ball in the house, I see you. As high as I've been on the Texans this whole season, as much as I've been rolling with it through the bad, the good, and, it's people from out of town, all them out of towners, the ESPN fan, well, the Texans haven't played anybody, but yet our win percentage, the teams that we've played is higher than that number one team. Everybody wants to swear is the coldest thing they've seen since the greatest show on turf and shit. But it is what it is. But I'm going to be honest with you. The Texans go to New York, what is it, MetLife Stadium, and don't succeed against this Jet team. But this Jet team is not very talented. I mean, I'm just being honest. I know any given Sunday, I know they hung 40 on a couple of teams a couple of times, but that really wasn't from offensive skill play. That was more special teams, and I think they had a couple of lucky defensive situations. Let's be realistic. This team is not good, not very talented. Starting running back out. Sam Darnold kind of having the foot dilly-dally he dealing with. I'm just going to be honest, man. The Texans should come out with a handy victory. Just kind of with a brief overview, just looking over it, man. How do you feel about this matchup with the Texans and the Jets, man? What do you think? What do you think when you first think about this Texans and Jets matchup?
Well, it's just like I was telling you, Honcho, man. Like, if this is even somewhat a competitive game, I'm going to have some questions, bro. Like, I really am. Like, the fact that, they gave Tennessee, a hellified, like, they were beating the brakes off of Tennessee, but we ain't Tennessee. You know what I'm saying? I understand that. We still gonna shit on them no matter what. But I feel that this game better not be close. Like, it better not be like no Bills game. It better not be like no Redskins game. It better not be like no fucking Denver Bronco game. You know what I'm saying? Those games were respectable. You know what I'm saying? In terms on defense, they had some offensive weaponry. You know what I'm saying? They just couldn't pull out a win, for whatever reason. But it is what it is in terms of, wins and shit that we have. But if this game is even remotely close, if this game is not a complete shutout, and if we give any traction, and if they even get a 300-yard game, then I'm like Romeo Crennel he's already almost on the hot seat, but like he definitely is on my hot seat. And we definitely need to look up, because if Sam Darnold plays or whether he doesn't play, if guys aren't getting to the quarterback and if they get no sacks, I'm gonna say it's something to me. It's just gonna be looking like what's going on with what Romeo is doing, because I think when it boils down to it, some of the plays and the positions that he's putting some of these players in hasn't boded well over the last like few weeks. Yeah, we're getting turnovers. True enough, we getting turnovers and we not turning the ball over offensively. So you can always look at that as a net positive. But the fact that you giving up yards to where these guys can be in situations where they're extending drives is not kosher to me. You know what I'm saying? And it's something that needs to be addressed. I know a lot of people in the chat going to agree. You know what I'm saying? And I haven't really seen too many defenders of Rack as recently since we've really been bringing this to the forefront. And I feel that he needs to bring some more corner and safety blitz pressure. He needs to rush Bernard McKinney way more than he has throughout the season, especially considering that, we got Philly and Carson Wentz isn't going to play. And, we got the Jags in the very last game, and divisional games are always going to be hard. And the Jags play us hard. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they can end up doing some crazy shit and end up upsetting us. I don't even want to think about it, but it's not like it can't happen. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they came in, did some things. The fact that they just dominated Andrew Luck with the team that came in and put up 399 passing yards, and a receiver put up 199 receiving yards against us. That's not a good look. You know what I'm saying, for the Houston secondary that we've defended pretty much all season, because they haven't really given up these type of games. So it's like, when they do give up a game, people act like they've been doing this shit all season when they haven't. And that's one thing, when game day happens, and when people have a cool head to really assess the situation, you really got to take in consideration, man, look, this is T.Y. Hilton. And at the end of the day, you have to take in consideration what Romeo Crennel didn't do to take him out of the game.
I agree. And, man, here's a couple of things now. We're going against the Jets and looking at the situation. Now, the Texans, or Crennel, I think under the Bill O'Brien situation is what is it? I think, did Baker make it 8-1? Or was it? Because I think it was 7-1 going in before Baker. I think Baker made 8-1 against rookie quarterbacks. So if Darnold's going to be playing, and then they backup is McCown, who is no better, it's even worse. I mean, it should bode well to be in a favor for the Texans. He's only putting about I think let me see, hold on. Yeah, I think Days, I think you're right, about 190 yards passing, 190.7 yards passing, which is good for 30th in the NFL. So that's not a good look. Their rush game, they're rushing 106 yards a game, 21st in the NFL. Yards, they're not even getting 300 yards a game on average. They're averaging 296.9, so 297 yards, which is good for 30th in the NFL. And they're putting up just under 21 points a game, which is good for 26 in the NFL. Their defense ain't stopping shit. The best that they're at, which is still in the second half, second tier, is 16th in the pass, which is 243.8 yards a game. If you give us 250 yards, we should solidify that game and then some. But I expect to see a little bit more from Watson. I know Bill O'Brien's going to want to run. I know they're going to want to establish that, time of possession. And I think it's going to be a game they're going to kind of want to get in there, try to get out early if possible, and then kind of run the clock out again, dominate the time of possession, just kind of dominate the clock. So, I would like to see them walk on them, but I think just for the fact that, hey, just let people know that we can bounce back after that loss. Right. But either way it goes, we were talking about this too. I expect Clowney, as much as, it's been, you said it's been a while. I didn't realize it's been that long. It's been a few weeks since he's had a sack, that you were saying. Yeah. But I expect him to bounce back, man, because he seemed like he was highly upset after that game. I think it's been eating on him. I think that he's going to take his anger out on this Jets team, and I think it's going to be real difficult. When you play with some passion, he already has the physical tools. And I think, I'll be honest, like he has that, and sometimes when guys have that, they may not bring it all every game. I'm not saying he's not, because we talk about how he gets utilized. We were talking about yesterday, right, and I kind of want to get your take. We talked a little bit at length yesterday in the stream about him putting his hand on the ground. So I'm going to get your thoughts on that in just a second. But about how they try to do this team and the versatility, and all that bullshit that they try to accomplish. And I think that's been a detriment to some of his stats. But I think now that he has a reason, he has a purpose, he has some passion, I expect him to come, and I expect him to come with a multiple sack game, especially against a guy like Darnold. What kind of fucking name is Darnold? Hey, Darnold. But, he's not the guy that's going to fucking beat us with his fucking his hands. He's not going to beat us with his arm, but he is a little crafty. But to me, he looks a little clumsy back there too. To me though, he's not. You know, people talking about, oh, he's got good feet and all that. Like I said, I haven't watched a lot of him. I kind of went back and watched their last game against the Bills, and he had some plays that he made, but it looked like it was more like it was fear than talent. You know, he was motivated by, it wasn't necessarily skill. He was just he avoided some plays, but it was situations where, you know, you turning your back on the play, that shit would normally come up to a big sack. You know, motherfuckers kind of fell and stumbled, and, you know, he kind of got back around and he made a nice little play. But I don't think that's something that he's going to successfully accomplish against the Texans. But we've had some trouble against, you know, somewhat mobile quarterbacks the last couple of games, even if they're not just, you know, mobile as Deshaun or a Jackson. They just the guys that can move around in the pocket pretty well. We haven't had the success against those guys that I'd like to see, you know, in the last couple of games. But just kind of want to know your thoughts, though. We're talking about Clowney and his whole situation. How do you feel he's going to play in? And what are your thoughts about seeing Clowney in a with his hand on the ground? How do you feel like that would impact his performance?
Man, I just feel like, man, it's always the best thing for him. Now, I understand in certain situations, especially with that hard count, maybe it would have been better for him had he been standing up, or he'd have been rushing over a guard or something like that, and you had somebody else on the edge. I mean, you utilizing and you move them all over the fucking, you know, over the field anyway in those type of situations. So I think, why not maximize your pass rush, especially if you know he has the tendency to jump. So I think for that particular situation, he probably wasn't in the best situation, but I can't fault that man for wanting him to be able to get there in the backfield and make a play, because it's something about when he plays against a guy like Andrew Luck. He always comes up big, and maybe he felt like that was going to end up being his play that he would have been able to make to turn the game, you know what I'm saying, to get the ball either, you know, back in the defensive hands, because if he would have got the ball out and we were to cover it, nobody would have been behind them to make any play, and they could have walked that in for a touchdown, you know what I'm saying, because I don't even think on that play he even had a running back in the backfield. I could be wrong, but you know, it's I like it, but he has to adjust. You know, y'all. I mean, honestly, the man is just too fucking physical. From, you know, a plethora of ways. Like, the man is agility is fast, his acceleration probably the best in the league. Like, no man is his size doing what he's doing. You know, and I said this weeks ago. I'm like, I really think him adjusting his speed from his speed to power and things of that nature, you know what I'm saying? He gets past these dudes so fast that when it's time to close in on the quarterback, he, you know, his pursuit angle, you know, either guys shove him like at the very last second. It's either he gets shoved, he's getting tackled or being held, or, you know, his angle isn't the greatest. So one of those things that I feel that he really needs to work on, and what I feel that any, you know, DC, whether it's Rack or somebody else coming in the next coming years, you know, has to really utilize his talent to the fullest, because we'll never see the stats that we want to see from Jadeveon Clowney in terms of sacks, even though his TFLs and all those shits are really sacks. It's just depending upon who the fuck has the football, you know. So I mean, those are just as important. They lose down. You're down in distances. It's way harder, and the game plan alters in so many ways when you get in TFLs. I know a lot of people don't want to hear that shit, but like, anybody that really played football really takes that into consideration. And most dudes who never played football, especially as a defensive lineman or, you know, rushing the passer, you just don't understand. You know, and it's a multitude of ways of why this man is so important to this football team. And yeah, I get, because I rewatched the stream earlier today, because I didn't watch it yesterday when you went live, and people was like, yeah, but he cost you 2 games. It's the second game, bro. Like, in that situation, honestly, and when he did that, I forgot when exactly he did that. I mean, the penalty was big that he ended up getting on side, but that didn't decide the game. Deshaun Watson was the reason we didn't fucking win that game at the end. So, I mean, for everybody that was like trying to blame Clowney that we lost the Tennessee Titans, man, get the fuck, come on, bro. Y'all got to be smarter than that. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you pretty much gave them a dive where they were able to wear down the defense in that situation and get a couple of first downs, but they didn't score. It'd be different had they scored a touchdown or something like that on that drive. They didn't even score on that drive. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, people love to chalk that shit up. I mean, I feel like when it comes to guys waning and when dudes are not performing, he's the scapegoat of this team. You ever notice that?
Yeah. And
you ever notice that?
And I'll say,
Jadeveon Clowney is the fucking scapegoat for this fucking football team. I really noticed that. Every time something goes wrong, Clowney. I'm like, bro, come on now. Yeah. Like it's getting ridiculous.
Like I said, I give my due because I put a lot of shit on it. But again, it's not that one play. It's a play that was integral into the thing. But it comes down to more than just one play. When ultimately, you when you're in that situation and you're kind of hanging by a thread. Yeah, it's crucial. It's the visible mistake that everybody's looking at. But yeah, there was a lot more mistakes. You can talk about the overthrows. You can talk about the lack of running game. You could just talk about some of the blitzes that weren't picked up. I mean, it's a lot of things that you could really look at in them last couple of games. Again, in that Titans game, we could get mad about Jadeveon about that too. But ultimately, that shouldn't even been a game that the Titans were even in with Blaine Gabbert and all that other shit. So I mean, there's a lot of little factors. But as fans, people get emotional but then you got to take a step back out of the moment after you had a chance to really look at it and realize that it hurt, but this is not the sole reason that it happened. That didn't help anything, but it is what it is. Another thing, man, a lot of folks are talking about, I actually just seen it right before we got on the stream, that Kayvon Webster is back. But was he ever really here? That's what I want to. Did he play 2 plays? I think maybe it had to be. It was 3 plays at the moment, but I'm pretty sure it was like a play.
He played a series and got hurt.
Yeah, shit. That's what I'm saying. And so that there. I don't know how I feel about it because I haven't seen what he could do. So like in the same sense that I was telling everybody when we first picked him up, Achilles injury. And here's the funny thing about it, right? Because when you go back to that Achilles injury, right? His Achilles injury happened after Foreman last year. So he comes back early. What happens? Achilles injury. Go through a bunch of weeks. We don't see him for a long time. Foreman comes back, and then along the timeline of which his Achilles happened last year, now Webster's his window gets opened up for him to come back. So that's what I'm saying. Like you got to realize, like the Achilles is a very peculiar thing, and people were super excited. I'm like, man, I just didn't see how he was going to be ready to go. You know what I mean? Maybe he was working, maybe he was tough. I mean, I give a man credit for being tough, and maybe he was trying to play on it. But ultimately, I was always cautious of that. And the thing is, he's not technically back because he got the 21-day window, but not so much about Webster. What does this say about Kevin Johnson? Are his days as a Texan over with?
They're over. Matter of fact, I think I seen some shit. I don't know if it was from Texas Patterson and guys in the IG chat where they said that Kevin Johnson is being he's out for the rest of the season, like they're not gonna play him or some shit like that. I mean, David Pritchard, if you in here, man, y'all know how that conversations go. I kind of skimmed over it, you know what I'm saying? So if you in here, please feel free to go ahead and put that shit into chat because there'd be some positive information for us to have because I don't want to see him play in a Texas uniform ever again. 30 is done. In the Texas uniform, he has shown me shit. He ain't shown me a goddamn thing. Rookie season and them 6 games before he went down, probably the best he ever done. And he played real good in the Rams game last year. Outside of that, what has he really done?
You say thought I was gonna bail on the stream. Go take no. We had to come with, like I say, it's a short week. I got to make sure. I know it's been a couple of times I had stuff going on, but I said I want to make sure I get y'all right this week, man, because it's a short week. So Saturday and all that good stuff. So the game is what, 3 Saturday?
Yeah, Saturday. Okay. I want to say yeah 3. So 4:30 Eastern time or something like that. Okay. Yeah.
So just for a heads up, so everybody know, we always do a pregame show before the game, so it'll probably be about 2. About 2 o'clock we'll be doing a pregame, so make sure y'all here for that. But no, I didn't catch the last part. You were talking about with Kevin Johnson being over with. You were saying something at the end of that. I didn't catch that last little part.
Yeah, man, I'm just saying he's over with, bro. I mean, besides a couple of games that he's played, you know what I'm saying? He played some good games. He looked like he had the potential the first 2 years. And, I don't even know how we even got the big head about him when he was constantly injured. Mm-hmm. True enough. Yeah, I saw some things. He was playing better than A.J. Bouye before, he went down. But from that Denver game on, A.J. Bouye showed why he was that dude on this football team. He had been developed, and he had actually picked up a lot of things. Like, the growth and development of Kevin Johnson has never gotten better. Yeah. It's always been exactly where it is. Like he's never had the ability to get his head down. If we talk about penalties in the league, he absolutely gets the worst penalties at the worst time against. Yeah, we don't even want to talk about that.
Yeah, and that's the thing about his development, and because like you said, you saw the kind of the upward trajectory, but then I feel like what happened with him was it became more mental than physical because he was just so worried about recovering from the injury, and then you thinking about getting hurt again and, you know, doing too much. Even if start off this season, you know, those just those fluke ass concussions. And I think, you know, you got to look at it too. You got to look at the Texans' recent history with guys getting a lot of concussions. This Fedorowicz situation. I don't think they want to take a risk with that. And I agree with you when how you talking about he's undersized. Yeah, like I didn't realize when they talking about he bulked up to 160 this year. I'm like, well, what the fuck was this nigga playing? 'Cause he's 6 feet.
Wait, what?
Yeah, he bulked up to 160 this year. That's what I'm saying. So I'm like, what was he playing at before then? You know what I'm saying? Like,
what was he, 120?
Like, I mean, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, I'm saying 145 because I think they said somebody put on about 10, 15 pounds because I think, I forgot what it was.
What?
I'm like, that's too light to
the
fight.
The nigga was a welterweight? Oh my God, bro. Like, what the fuck, bro? Like, what? You can't tell me, bro. Like, as a corner, you need to be 180, 190.
Yeah. Yeah.
You need to be around that size, man. You got to be able to dish out the hits. You got to, it's at least in today's corners, you know what I'm saying? You got to be able to dish out the hits. You got to have some durability. Like, the man has absolutely no durability. And what was it? I forgot what game it was. It was a preseason game. I think it was the first fucking game. And that shit that he did, and how the fuck he hit his head. I couldn't even feel sorry for him. I was just like, get your stupid ass head around. And he's out. And he's out for, you know what I'm saying? And it's like we down a corner. It's like you can't depend on him. He's not dependable at all. And you are right. And we were discussing that last year. Like, the man, like, mentally, the game got to him. Mm-hmm. And honestly, I don't think this is a team that fits his skill set and what he does the best anyway. He's more of a press corner. We don't run press like that. So why are you trying to have a guy that has a skill set that doesn't even fit on your team? He's not a great zone player. Yeah. I mean, he only has like 2 picks the entire time that he's been here. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he doesn't give you any big play ability. Yeah, he can get a tackle. The bitch can tackle. Yeah, exactly. I give you that. But that's about it. But he whiffs on so many tackles.
But it's 50-50 on the tackles. You don't know if he's going to hurt himself if he tackle a motherfucker. That's what you got to be worried about. He'll lay the hat, but you wondering if is he going to come back after this? Is he going to be okay? Like, I mean.
Oh, he's not. He's not. He's not going to be okay. You know what I'm saying? I know his family worries about him when he play on the game. I know that, but this boy, he don't know what the fuck. His daddy got to be shaking his head sometimes. Like, but get your fucking head around, son.
Your goddamn sister tougher than you, nigga.
Straight up. You know, she in Baltimore. She in Baltimore doing something strange. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is.
Hey, man, Asheville, I see you with the super saucy, super chat love, man. I see Chiefs, Texans, Patriots, Ravens, Chiefs, Colts, period. Man, here's the deal, though. I kind of want to talk about some scenarios, and I kind of want to discuss that a little bit, and then we'll talk a little bit more about it. Because I'm going to be honest, like the Jets, there's a few things, but the news with the Jets right now, like I say, because what's his name? Crowell's out. He's looking like he's going to be out because he's missed 2 days of practice. And, again, this is an earlier game. So, you know, it's not like a Sunday game where, you know, okay, we got an extra day, you know, for that game time decision. If he's not available now, you know, it's not looking good for him come this weekend. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens with that. So he's out. What's his name? And I'm not super familiar. We was talking about him earlier. Their starting receiver. He's been out for the past 2 practices, hasn't played. You know, their linebacker they got a couple of years ago, Deron Lee, he's out for the rest of the season with the substance abuse situation. So they're missing a lot of key players. And again, Darnold, he's still kind of aggravated that little foot situation he's got going, but he's supposed to be starting. And then even if he does go down, you got Josh McCown. And so, I mean, I'm not particularly excited about, you know, the Jets. I mean, and I'm not going to underrate them because any given Sunday,
right,
anything can happen. But I just kind of want to look at the playoff picture and the possibilities, because I know a lot of people are upset. You know, we didn't take advantage of that situation last week when the opportunity happened. The Miami Miracle happened, and we weren't able to capitalize on our end.
Right. Right.
Oh, real quick, had a couple of texts. Let me make sure. So I see, you know, Chandler holding down, saying shout out to Honcho and Wink. What's the motherfucking deal, Chandler? Always holding down the sauce line. Appreciate that love. Jay Dizzle, man, I ain't fucking with you, Jay Dizzle. I'm leaving it at that, man. But you know, my thing
I honestly think that's what people were more mad about. I think that's what we were really more disgusted about, is that not only did we like lose by 3, and not only did we have opportunities to really adjust I think the lack of adjustments on defense, the fact that New England lost to Miami, we beat Miami, and the fact that the game was in our grasp and we would be in second
That's too
place. You
much
know what I'm
sauce.
saying? That's what I mean. I was mad about that. You
Yeah,
know what I'm
yeah,
saying? But I still knew we was in very good shape to still have a 12-4 season.
yeah.
You know, 11-5 at the very least. I don't see us losing another game really, but you never know,
Yeah, you
man.
never know.
Sometimes you just never know. And despite our confidence and knowing who we got coming up and the type of games that we won, because we won against way grittier football teams than the ones we got coming up. And it's just like that's why most fans have been confident. You know what I'm saying? Most of the teams, fans of teams would be like Texans fans is being arrogant. No, the fuck we not. Like at the end of the day, we're gonna take advantage of our fourth place schedule because it held. We was in fourth place last year in our division. So why not take advantage of it? You ain't finna make us feel bad that at least you ain't gonna make most of us feel bad because at the end of the day people realize, bro, you can only play who the fuck you is. And at the end of the day, why would you wanna put yourself in a situation right now, the way that this team is assembled and what you want to play against, some of these super teams that they claim that they got, you need to build the confidence up of this football team first. That's what any trainer would do to his boxer. You're going to build his confidence up and make sure that he knows he can win and he can win in a multitude of ways and actually learn from the fights that he's actually having. So when the big fight fucking happens, he doesn't fold.
Yeah. I see. He said we got a new by who? We got said we got a new wide receiver. So they picked somebody up by the name of I don't know what that is. Look, it is what it is. Supposed to be say about the size of Demarius, but he's supposed to have some speed. We'll see. I said it'd be interesting. I'm not sure. Like I said, I haven't gotten an update. I haven't checked on the Carter situation as far as the concussion protocol. That's going to be key. But again, like I said, just kind of looking at the situation, the Pats taking on the Steelers, and the Steelers are basically fighting for their playoff lives. And so I think, I'm not saying that the Pats don't want that. The Pats are fighting for that bye week. They know that we right on their ass, and they don't want to lose that. So it should be a good one. It'll be pretty interesting to see what happens, especially with Big Ben. He was a little banged up after the last game. Also. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see what happens with that game. That should be a good match. The Texans handle business. Again, we should still be in good position because the Pats have
the Pats ain't guaranteed no win against the Steelers.
Yeah, Carter practice they should be good this weekend. Carter for cool. Appreciate y'all. Shout out to y'all. That's why I fuck with y'all, Sauce. Y'all come with the info prompt and quickly. You know what I'm saying? Look, hey, we just fans talking to fans, man. We ain't got all the juice sometimes, but y'all be coming with it, and we appreciate that. So Carter, because like I said, I don't think people realize how important a slot is. Man, there was a picture, and I meant to send it out. It was just showing giving a visual of all the routes that a slot runs. Because it was actually they were talking to I want to say it was Chris Harris or somebody like that. He was just talking about how hard it is to cover a slot receiver, and that I think that if you look at that and take that into account, you actually have a visual aspect of it to see why it was a problem. Well, Webb wasn't going to be able to handle a lot of those routes. You know what I'm saying? Is he did what he could do, but you're not going to have that confidence in him. Like somebody you built a rapport with, but just thinking about that Steelers and like I said, that Steelers and Pats game because it's really interesting because the Steelers have been so wishy-washy. Again, just took a L to the fucking Raiders, and they can attribute, Big Ben was out a little bit. Still, even with Big Ben being out, there's no excuse to losing to the Raiders. Raiders gave away all their best players and ain't done shit and fucking still beat the Steelers. But yeah, people are swearing up and down the Steelers. They legit, they the truth. They gonna do. And that's what kills me. And that's why I tell people, hey, stop listening to the national media. Formulate your own opinions. Go look at the real numbers, not all this PFF bullshit statistics that they fucking create to push their own fucking narrative. But go and look at the numbers for yourself. And you can make sense of things. You can see what's really real and understand what is going on. Oh, so Connor's still out. Who is Connor? How long?
Connor's gonna hurt.
Yeah, that's gonna hurt him. But shit, they gonna find a way. They gotta stay there. They'll find a way. They'll make it competitive at least. And I'm not guaranteeing a victory, but it should be a good game one way or another. Because Big Ben, when it's on the line, Big Ben gonna make some shit happen. So
and they got the receivers to handle business against fucking the Patriots. Juju can go. Juju leave and try to lock up fucking Antonio Brown all you want to. Juju can go ham against the Patriots defense right now. And the way that Gronkowski played, you know what I'm saying, in that ugly ass loss, because the dude was kind of hurt. He was kind of fucked up in that game. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it's not even. He's probably not even gonna be 100%. Yeah, I mean, they're gonna have to do everything they can to lock down Edelman and and make sure that they take care of shit in the run game. But man, T.J. Watt been playing nice. You know what I'm saying? They defense, the Steelers defense has been been straight. You know what I'm saying, across the board. So I mean, as long as they handle their business, man, and they take care of that, because if they take care of that for us. And they beat these dudes, that's the only game we needed, because they're not going to be able to come back and catch us. Because if we get in front of them on one game and we end up going up and we went out and we end up sewing up this second seed, and it ain't no guarantee that when the Chiefs play the fucking Chargers and the Broncos, whoever else it is that they got on their schedule, that ain't no guaranteed game for them. And that's why I was hoping that Baltimore would have knocked it down, because it would have made the chances of us getting closer to them even further. Because we got better, like you said, the strength of schedule is in our favor. They not gonna be able to see that, regardless of what the national media and shit like that. And when they show that shit on the screen, and they show that the Texans actually have played some teams that got a lot of winning records, and that's what people kill me when they talk about the Texans, bitch. It's not about when you played these dudes, it's when the fucking season is over. You think when we play these teams that they at their best? We weren't at their best when we was losing. So why in the hell is it that teams can't turn shit around once we beat them? Because the fucking Cowboys been on what, a 5-game win streak? Like, come on, man.
Yeah, and that's what I say. So yeah, you got the Chiefs. They got the Chargers in Seattle. I forgot that's who they gonna end up in the Seattle. Seattle playing
Kansas City.
Kansas City got to play the Chargers in Seattle. Seattle ain't sleeping. Like, a lot of people counted
They
Seattle out early.
both of them games, bro.
They kind of, because my thing is, you got to look at it with the Ravens, and again, a limited skill set rookie like Lamar, and he still put that on y'all and made y'all have to fight for it. Again, a veteran like Russell he gonna make you pay. You know what I mean? So it's gonna be interesting to see what happens with those, Rivers and those guys. Look, it's gonna be really interesting to see what happens, because now that you're missing that key element in Hunt, y'all ain't able to do some of the things that y'all. Where's Patty Mahomes? This look real different. Since Hunt's been out, but hey, Pat's the greatest thing since sliced bread. But hey, again, y'all gonna see everything is gonna come back. The things that we charge on, it's not a knock on Pat, but it's just you gotta look at what he was blessed with. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I say the Chargers number 1 and number 2 RBs ain't playing. I'm still not counting them out. I'm still not counting them out. The Chargers on the brink of something. When you look, they hungry. They know they right there. I think it's gonna be interesting to see what happens. I'm feeling like Casey's gonna start kind of coming back down to earth, because what's his name? He's not out the game, but he's day to day. Hill,
Kelsey,
not Tyreek Hill. Yeah, Tyreek.
Oh,
Hill.
really?
Yeah, he's day to day. So again, like I say, it's gonna be it's gonna be some real interesting things going on to really see. I saw somebody talking about Gronk is washed. Gronk, he's starting to look a little. He's starting to look a little like he paying some dues from some of the shit that some of the beatings he didn't took over the years. Can we beat the Ravens in the wild card? Absolutely. We're not going to the wild card, though. Trust me. The things are going to work out in the favor for the Texans. Mark my motherfucking words, and if I'm wrong, I have no problem eating the crow. Mark my motherfucking words. Things will pan out for the Texans to get that number 2 seed. We ain't got no shot. I don't think we ain't got no shot to the number 1 seed. But things will pan out for the Texans to get that number 2 seed.
I think had we won last week, the number 1 seed will still be very, very attainable, especially considering who Kansas City got coming up defensively over the next 2 weeks, man. It's not going to be no cakewalk for them. And man, because I honestly believe if if the Chargers beat them, they'll end up having like the same record. They both. I mean, I'm pretty sure the Chargers be way better teams across the board. When you add up they strength of schedule versus Kansas City, and I mean, I don't know how that situation is going to end up playing out for them. But if they lose to Seattle, if they lose 2 games back to back, that'll put them in 11-5 on the season. But I mean, what if the Raiders fucking upset them and they drop these last 3 games? What are they gonna say about Patrick Mahomes without Hunt then?
It's gonna be interesting. And
don't use it as no excuse, because he the MVP, right?
Yeah, Trejo said what Hill actually has a hairline fracture in his ankle. Okay, that's
wow.
That's even if it don't sustain you this game, that's something you're gonna have to watch game to game, and that don't bode well going off into the into the playoffs. So it's gonna be real interesting.
Ooh.
You say, "What's up?" It's Mello. Shout out my nigga Honcho in the round table. Carson Wentz is out for the season. We play Nick. We were saying this earlier too. I'm more afraid of Nick Foles. I'm more afraid of Nick Foles than Carson. Nick Foles won the Super Bowl. Goddamn. You know
He the one who won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Straight up.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep it real with y'all, man. I'm more concerned with Foles because that's the veteran president. That's the man. That's the Philly special right there. You know what I'm saying?
I watched him throw 400. I watched him throw 400. I watched him catch touchdowns. I watched him do all kind of crazy shit. I watched him become the Super Bowl MVP last year. Yeah, he is. Nick Foles is scary. Like when he on, when he really cooking, and you gonna know right off the bat like how he gonna end up playing because he one of them type of players. He gonna show you off real. Is he gonna be hot or he gonna be cold?
Yeah, if you come out the gate, that's your fate. D Pritch, what's the motherfucking deal, man? Good to see you as always. You say heal on your fantasy team. Well, there's that. But yeah, you ain't lying though, Tenny, and you know how we play against backups. That is true, man. You know, I don't know.
Yeah, that is true too.
I don't know if it's on Cornell. I don't know if it's on the team feeling like, oh, well, it's a backup. I don't know where the energy comes from that just backups start to succeed against us. But sponsored by T.O. Honcho's Lemon Pepper. Hey, lemon pepper, that's my favorite. But you know what I'm saying? You say kind of disappointed that isn't Wentz versus Watson. Yeah, you know, a lot of people try to make that out to be that, but I mean, you know, it is what it is. You know what I mean? But here's the thing that they were talking about, because I had caught a little something on the radio as I was running to the store real quick, and I wasn't realizing that, but they were basically saying, you know, that Wentz is what you got to think about. He's been injured every year, going back to college, his last year of college or something like that. So I think that's you know, when does the injury prone label start to come out?
They not finna put that on him because his team just won a Super Bowl. They're gonna gloss over that shit. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna gloss over that shit every year, but they'll go ahead and they'll be quick to put this shit on Deshaun Watson. I be hearing dudes that when they talk about Deshaun Watson, like he's at the risk of getting hurt, but he ain't getting hurt. Like they act like him getting out of the pocket, you can't be successful. Shit. Russell Wilson successful, Rodgers successful, fucking Tom Brady get out of the pocket and throw the football, he's successful. You know, a lot of guys are successful getting out of the pocket. Matthew Stafford's successful. You know, like it's so many quarterbacks I could go down the fucking line, and they talking about these dudes get out of the pocket. Like nigga, Brady don't stay in the pocket every fucking time. Like a lot of guys, like the pocket, that pocket passing bullshit is almost dead.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know why fucking Patrick Mahomes is so exciting? Because he out of the pocket. Like get out of here.
You said we're literally playing COVID $8.5 million for no reason. The Cornell said he doesn't want to change up the mix. But yeah, that's what bugs me too. I kind of want to get your thoughts on that because we've been talking about that. Why isn't Colvin on the field? Why isn't Colvin playing? Colvin, y'all activated him. Y'all brought him back. Y'all paying him this money. You got cheap T-shirt on the field. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like y'all don't want to change
his talent.
But I said, I mean, is it a talent? Is it? I mean, did Cornell you feel like approve the signing of this man? But again, and even with that being said, you know, this is a sly guys because Kareem's playing so well. I mean, what all pans out? What all factors, you know, do you have to look at as to why Colvin is not seeing some time? And then after this, we'll open up the sauce line because I see we get a few texts in, and then we'll open up the sauce line and get some of y'all's thoughts. I'll put the text on there for y'all to text in, and then after that, we'll get ready to open it up. But what are your thoughts? What all factors are you seeing as to why Colvin ain't getting on the field?
Colvin didn't play like the last 3 games, and his reps have not really increased. You know what I'm saying? Since he's been playing, it's like when you see him on the field, you're like, "Oh, there's Colvin." You know what I'm saying? And the only reason why you even saw Colvin, you know, the week prior when that fucking fumble happened with that Justin Reed calls is because, I mean, everybody ran down and you was like, oh, shit, Colvin had the ball and handed it off to Honey Badger. You know what I'm saying? It's just like the dude ain't making no plays. He's never nowhere you need him to be found. You know what I'm saying? They don't know what they doing with Colvin, man. And at the end of the day, let's be real. You only got this man because of how juiced up, you know, he was with that pass rush and shit that they had in Jacksonville. Like, well, none of us were excited about Colvin. Now, one person from the round table was when that move happened, we were pissed. Like, we were hot about it. And look, and for good reason. He's done nothing with this football team. Even when he was playing before the injury, what the fuck has he really done, really? He ain't came up. He ain't made no plays. He ain't never said, man, that boy Colvin. Sharice Wright, at least been in situations, man, been handling his business.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, true enough. I know, he got fucked over the last game, whatever, whoop-de-whoop. But it's been a stretch of games. Sharice Wright was holding it down, getting key bat downs in key situations, you know what I'm saying, and was actually making plays that you could see on the field that was recognizable. Colvin has done absolutely nothing at any point in time that he's played during the season that I can think, okay, that's the reason why he deserves $8 million as a slot. You see, that the Pro Football Focus is a fucking joke, because when you say that this man was the number one such and such corner, and when this man gets to a much better defense, because our defense is better than fucking Jacksonville. Fuck what y'all talking about. Anybody that disagrees, suck my dick. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, man, that defense is severely overrated. You see the talent waning. You see that they ain't got shit. And the chemistry ain't there. Dudes getting off of the team and going elsewhere. Like, that team is falling fucking apart. You know what I'm saying? I seen fans questioning Doug Marrone. Fans want Doug Marrone out of there. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I done seen this with my own eyes. Like, what the fuck is Doug Marrone doing? And this and that. Like, I'm like, damn. Like, that's how y'all feel about Doug Marrone? Well, hey, I didn't know it was like that. And I found that out a few weeks ago. You know what I'm saying? But it's when it comes to the COVID situation, this man is clearly, he don't got the talent. He clearly ain't got the speed. He clearly don't fit in this system, and he don't know how to get in where he fits in. Sharice Wright will always be the starter over him, and will always end up making more plays over him. Can you trust him in every situation? No. But when the man has come up big, the man has come up big. It's easy to really shit on Sharice Wright when he strung in weeks and weeks and weeks of games where he was positive in the game film. But the moment that he reverts back, to being a guy that just gets picked up off of the street, then dudes want to, they want to trash the fuck out of him, but forget everything he did in every win prior to this loss. Mm-hmm. It's real easy to look this way in a loss, after one game, and it was fucking Andrew Luck who was throwing the ball. Exactly. It wasn't like it was some fucking bum. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like this was fucking Alex Smith. It wasn't like this was fucking Blake Bortles or fucking Marcus Mediocre. This wasn't none of them quarterbacks. But the moment that, okay, he looked somewhat bad against Andrew Luck, now, now we down on him now. Now he a cab driver now. When he saved us in a lot of situations prior to this, you know what I'm saying, in weeks. But, that's how football fans are, bro. Yeah. Hey, that's how they are.
But it is what it is. Like I say, and again, Andrew Luck going to exploit you. He going to make it do it. And it wasn't just right. That whole team exposed. Again, like I say, it's easy to pick and choose, certain plays here and there. But again, if you look at that whole game, it was not a good look for anybody on that field. Right. So a couple of things. I see you asked me, you say word is that Honey Badger don't care too much for he says it's because of chemistry, so you don't want to mess with that. And the word is that Matthew don't like him. And D Prince say the hot dog.
Matthew don't like who?
That don't care for Colvin.
Well, shit, I wouldn't either.
So I don't know. That's interesting to see what happens at that situation if that is the case. Comes down to it, I think it's easy to know who you take in that situation. That's not even a question. If you have to deal with some personality issues, we know who would be out the door on that one. You're gonna take the man who's been more productive. So I don't even think that's a question. So here's the deal, man. We're gonna open up the line. Give me just un segundo, y'all's favorite word. Let me get the proper headgear in. Everybody is welcome to call the sauce line except for Kenneth, because Kenneth don't be talking about shit. Everybody,
like that. What has Kenneth done to you? Where did he even get this bar? Because I never understood the backstory. Where does he get the sip of Kim? Did he call into the Kush Den or something and talk about a bitch in high school that he wanted to get that he couldn't get and he was whining on? I mean, what's the backstory, bro? Man, because I've been wanting to know this shit for quite some time, and it's a week Wednesday, and I want to know, goddamn.
Yeah, like, it did emanate from the den. It was a question or two, or some of his behaviors are, simpish, if you will. And
Oh,
so,
no.
I ain't gonna air him out in front of all the sauce. If y'all really want to know the whole story, y'all come to the den, and I'll make sure to give y'all the rundown on Ken. But Ken just has some simping ways, man. And some of his behavior, I had to block him on the gram a couple of times. He was just getting a little outlandish, But here's the deal: Ken is all right. He just don't know how to control himself sometimes. Sometimes those behaviors just overtake him. He goes back into his natural state,
Oh,
So
shit.
I'll be trying to help the young man out, but he'll get it right one day. He'll get it right one day. Well, here's the deal, man. Let me see. We got a couple of texts. We're gonna run some of these texts, man. Then we'll open up the line. Says Texas win the Super Bowl. Do they go back to back? I don't want to talk about no bowls. I don't want to talk about no nothing like that till we solidify the playoffs. First, we got to get to the playoffs. I talk playoffs,
Right.
but then we got to see matchups. We got to see some situations how we get there.
Man, we need to beat Kansas City, bro.
Yeah.
When we beat Kansas City, regardless of who they got on the field, because remember, Mahomes is the reason they winning, right? So if we beat Mahomes and we make the nigga look mediocre, I think that's what it's gonna take for team. I think that's the team it's gonna take. I mean, true enough, everybody gonna give us all the credit in the world if we beat New England. But if you come in here in the playoffs and it's just a situation where they drop these next two games, we end up going in their seeding process and they end up placing third. What's that really going to say? Like, because that's a real conversation.
We're gonna take this call real quick. I had to make sure I had to adjust the sound, make sure it sound right. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling on the sauce line this evening?
What's happening, Honcho? It's Mello, bro.
Mello, what's the motherfucking deal, man? How you doing this evening?
I'm doing good, bro. I'm chilling. I'm at work right now. Just listening to the sauce right now, trying to relax and shit. Anyway, just want to say shout out, bro. And I agree with old boy talking about on that Sharice way, because I think everybody down in that boy is on some fake ass fucking Texas fan bullshit, bro. Because I could see when Sharice White doing the thing on the field, bro. Like that Corey Sutton bad down pass in the end zone and during the Denver game, bro. That right there, that would have put them up 7 points. You know what I'm saying? So I don't like Sharice Wright out there. I honestly feel like Kayvon Webster should be out there more than Sharice Wright. But shit, in that last Indianapolis game on week 4, he was on some key plays on a couple of third down, bad downs. When we played Indianapolis in the fourth quarter, bro. So, everybody's sitting there talking shit about you, man. It ain't just Sharice Wright, man. Everybody get it beat. Everybody get plays beat. Everybody have bad plays in the fucking secondary, bro. It ain't just him, man. They just picking on him because they know he came out the street, man. He ain't no motherfucking premium corner, bro. He's somebody coming out the street, and he's done what he's done for us, and he's been part of this 9-game winning streak. And just because we lost one motherfucking game and everybody want to be talking shit about him and the Texans saying that, we ain't going far in the playoffs, yada, yada, yada. Bro, we won 9 motherfucking games. I understand we lost one game and it was to the coach. We shouldn't have lost it. But you know what? Ain't nobody was talking mad shit like that when we won 9 games before that. You know what I'm saying? So,
exactly.
Well, all I got to say is that, man, fuck a fake Texas fan, man. All they gonna do is sit there. They can't never be satisfied, man. Bro. I just want these boys to win. I want them to at least get to the conference championship, and that's all I'm gonna be good with. Shit, if we don't make it to the Super Bowl, fuck it. But as long as we put up a fight, I ain't tripping. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Don't go down without a fight, man.
Yeah.
So I agree. That's a bet, man. Appreciate it.
I'll let you, bro.
Already, Mello. Appreciate the call, man. Good shit.
Good call.
Already.
All right. Man, shout out to Mello. Mello been holding down. He came through the den last night with a good call, man. He said he was waiting over because I was stalling on the den line for a second. We was talking some shit in the den last night, man. We might jump in there tonight. We gonna see what's shaking. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling on the sauce line this evening?
Well, what up? It's your boy Roman.
Roman, what's the motherfucking deal, man? What you want to drop on the sauce line tonight?
Oh no, I just I was just well, first of all, shout out to the Round Table Wink and you, Honcho. Y'all be holding down the sauce every day, every week. Just keep doing y'all thing, man. I love y'all. But just to say what I got feel, I agree with y'all. I feel like we've got to handle our business Saturday. I think we will. I'm not even nervous about the Jets. I hate to say it, but like when we was playing in Indianapolis, I just had a feeling we was gonna lose. I just don't know, and they did. I knew Luck and Ty were gonna play us they always play great football against us because they hate us. They don't like us. We are division rivals, and they want to stop us. They want to top us. They want to be number one. So they play top, and I feel like we wasn't ready. Does that mean we're a bad team? No. I mean, yeah, we had struggles in the secondary. Yeah, we had struggles on the O-line, but that can be fixed. I feel like this team is still a quality NFL team. I feel like this is a contender. You know, even I was looking at some of the national media. You got the haters, you know what it is, but you even got some people say they still got faith in us, which I don't care what they feel, but I mean that feels good to see that some people still got faith in us that's non-Texans fans. You know, if they would say they hate us, I didn't give a damn. They would say they liked us, I didn't give a damn. They said they did support us or didn't, I didn't give a damn. It's good to hear that. But just to say, I do think I've always had a problem with COVID. We paid them what? It was a 4-year. Something $30-40 million contract, and I don't know. Even if you look at those first couple games when we played, he didn't play so well in my opinion. I didn't see him. You see more of Kjo and you see Kareem playing, but he's the $1 million man. He's the one on the money, and we not seen him play that much. So I think that's an issue. I think paying him all that money for him not producing and not being on the field is an issue for the Texans. I think that's something they need to figure out in the off season. And you know what? In my opinion, I feel like we still up the race for the number one spot. I forgot KC's schedule, but our schedule is easy from here, especially if don't play was looking like you don't. I think we can handle Nick Foles. That pressure is too tough for that Eagles O-line. They ain't got no second day. They got worse second day than us. So I know Deshaun Watson's gonna be throwing that bitch all over they motherfucking cornerbacks and safety. So we're gonna have a field day with the Eagles, in my opinion. Even though we're gonna be in their house, still think we're gonna blow that out. Jacksonville, I don't have to continue. It's Jacksonville, nigga. Y'all know what it is. So yeah, man, I think we alright. I think we good. I think we can get to the championship easily. I think we can even get that number one spot. It's about doing our job, doing it correctly. Don't fuck up. Don't beat ourselves up. Discipline. And let me tell you, like I said, this team is unbeatable after that, Honcho.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so, man. And like I say, the schedule lines of everything, man. The Texans just have to handle their business. And again, if they would have handled their business last week, we're having a completely different conversation right now. But I feel like if they handle their business for the rest of this season, things will fall. It'll be one or two pieces that will move to the teams that's ahead of us, and things will fall in the Texans' favor. So I agree, man.
There's no way we should lose 2 out of these 3 games. It's impossible. Now, if we was playing New England, then Kansas City, or like playing New England, then the Saints, and then Kansas City. Let's say those are our last 2 games. Okay. We might lose all 3 of them bitches, or I still think we could tough out all 3 of them, but we might lose 2 out of the 3. I see us losing that. Boy, Jacksonville, goddamn the Eagles, and Jets, come on, man. That's all need to be blowouts. I don't think they will. So I'm going to stop talking, Honcho. I know sometimes I go too long. Shout out to Wink and the Round Table, man. Keep up the good work, guys.
Already, Roman, man. Appreciate the call, man. It's all love. Appreciate your call.
All right, man.
Already. But like I say, man, make some good points on that. And I agree, man. Like, one, because we have been saying it, the Texans really shouldn't have took that L to the Colts. It happens. Again, that division games, you can never count them out. I mean, look at, Miami and fucking the New England. On paper, hey, it's New England. They're going to beat the shit out of shit. They go down to New England can't win in Miami. Don't know what it is, but they can't win down there in Miami. It happens almost every year. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling in on the sauce line this evening?
This is Kenneth.
Hello, Kenneth. How can I assist? How can I assist you, Kenneth?
All right. So look, first and foremost, don't sit here and lie on the sauce. Don't sit here and be doing all that lying and stuff. We don't need to be doing all this, Honcho. This is unacceptable. You thought you were a good man, but you're sitting here lying. I cannot accept that. But I'm gonna move on from that, and I'm gonna get on to my point. Man, like I see a lot of us fans that we're surprised of what happened last week. And honestly, I was not surprised at all. We were outcoached. Let's call it what it is. And the flaws of this team were shown. Like I'm not like a few months ago. Let's say around February, March, we said, hey, we need to fix the secondary. We need to get some corners specifically, and we need to get some O-line. We need to get some corners. We said this month after month after month after month after month. You were at the beginning of the season. Guys, let's go get Brashad Breeland. He's available. Didn't get him. Hey, it is what it is. And now that y'all saw Andrew Luck pick the corners apart, while they were making plays for a lot of the season, most of the season, because we're on this winning streak. I mean, we just saw what we had on this team. Like, we know what we're working with, y'all. But, like, I feel like everybody's just surprised that, the flaws were shown. Like, bro, the roundtable been telling y'all this for 5, 6, 7 months ago. Like, this ain't nothing new. Like, what we saw on the field is what we have on this team. And, like, it's just the end of the world that we got picked apart by let's call it what it is. He is one of the better quarterbacks in this league, which is Andrew Luck, of course. But we shouldn't, like, the fact that he picked us apart isn't the end of the world, y'all. We still got a couple of games left. We could win out, probably get that number 2 seed, and, hey, we'll see where it goes from there. But that's just it, man. Just don't be surprised at what we got in this team, man. We can work with it. You can try to make it work. We do have to make some adjustments, but, man, don't be surprised at what we have in this team, y'all. That's all I wanted to say.
You can scheme. You can out scheme and out coach any team. You know what I'm saying? I mean, lesser talent has beat better talent in this football league. I mean, that's just a testament of Miami. I mean, when Buffalo beat the Vikings earlier this season, when the Vikings were trail, like, it's just a lot of teams that got a lot of wins against a lot of football teams and dominated football teams who thought that it was going to be kosher. And when you out scheme and you bring your coaching and you make sure that your team is prepared, you can beat anybody in this football league. That's just the way the game goes.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, Kenneth, rarely, occasionally, he'll say something that makes a little bit of sense. And basically, it is something that we have been harping on. I mean, even when the season started, we still were questionable about, the secondary situation. I think, safety, we really weren't too concerned. We kind of briefly mentioned it, but then, once you saw Reed developing, we were cool with the Honey Badger move. When Hal kind of got sick, you were kind of wondering how it was going to play out. Kareem at that point wasn't the Kareem Jackson that we've come to see. We had all said that he should play safety, and they were like, everybody applauded the move. And then, as the years going on, he's been just an excellent DB, period, all over the field. The thing about Kenneth, though, man, is don't listen to the bullshit he be talking about. Kenneth be on that shit. I got what they say, what the youngsters say, the receipts. Look, don't let me have to. You know what I'm saying? Don't let me go have to take it back for a refund on your Kenneth. You know what I'm saying? It's all good, man. Just leave it where it's at. But, and then, like I say, again, and my thing is this, I see folks talking about, you're not good and it's not this good. Man, I don't care who you is. If you put together 9 in this league, you're doing something right. Regardless of how they came, you can say, it was luck this, it was luck that. You have to put yourself in that position to receive that luck, because ain't too many other teams. Who the Saints put together, 9, 10, something like that?
Outside of Baker, well, the last 3 games, Baker, Andrew Luck, and Marcus Mediocre put up 300 yards. But before that, how many teams, not even Tom Brady, put up 300 yards against his football team? I mean, I'm just saying.
Let's take this. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling into the sauce line this evening?
Hey, it's your boy Josh again, man.
Josh, what's the motherfucking deal, man? What you want to drop on the sauce line tonight?
Hey, man, I've been crunching the numbers on this division stuff, and I know it's kind of some crazy math, but here's what I came up with. Because I know the NFL and their tie-breaking procedures and stuff, so what I don't want is this. I don't want a situation where it's like Kansas City and us end up with like the same record, because if that's the case, that'll be like, because it'll be like Kansas City would still have the same, not because it'll be like Kansas City would still have the tiebreaker because of some tiebreaker that pretty much says the worst that'll be is like 12-4, because their media says it goes by their conference record first, and we'll be at 3 losses and they'll be at 2.
Yeah,
so what has to happen is this: there will be like any way that the Chargers will pretty much win the division. It goes to like
it's too much sauce.
The schedule. Like, I don't know which will be tougher at the end between those two, because they play the Ravens and Broncos last. So we'll end up seeing at the end. But I'd rather a situation that we'll probably get a first round bye at the end. And I don't think it matters, in my opinion, if we have to go to Kansas City or what. Like, I just want that first round bye, because I feel like the Steelers going to play with something to play for, and I feel like the Steelers will beat the Patriots on Sunday. And the Jets, I'm not worried about that game either. So, but we'll see what happens.
Already. And I agree that it does come down to, I think, the strength of the conference situation or something like that. I forgot exactly how that pans out there. I think they had to leverage on us.
If they lose to Kansas City because they lost to the Chiefs, like who are all of their losses anyway? I don't even know everybody they lost to besides.
Real quick, I want to shout out to Man Things, man, and shout out to Big Al, man. I appreciate the super sauce, super chat, love. Man Things say like the damn stream. Much love to the round table. Appreciate that love. Shout out to Big Al. Take this call real quick. We saying who all that Kansas City lost to, or who all the Chargers lost to?
The Kansas City.
Okay.
What's going on? It's Toxic City.
Toxic City, motherfucking Tenny, man. What you want to drop on the sauce line tonight, Toxic City?
Man, I just need to grab everybody and pull them back into reality. The Chiefs are still number 1 seed. The Pats are still the number 2 seed. We're just as close to 12-4 as we are to 9-7. Y'all keep that in mind. All right? I just need everybody back to reality real quick. We haven't won 10 yet.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean,
after Saturday, I don't think that's going to be a conversation.
Here. We got to be on top of our game as far as what we're doing. I mean, Bill O'Brien has yet to win fucking 10 games. He's only topped out at 9 games. We don't know if we could go on this next 3 games on a skid and we'd be all fucked out of the playoffs. So let's recenter ourselves.
I don't think that's happening.
And try to judge the talent of what our team is at right now.
Okay. And I agree with you. He has not won, but I don't think that he's had the talent and the leadership at the quarterback position in any of those seasons where, because there's been a bunch of games, you can look back at those 9-7 seasons that could have went either way had you had a more talented QB, had you not had a 17, or had you not had a Hoyer or a Mallet or one of these guys. Yeah, you know what I mean? And so I think the situation is just a little bit different. Even if, it is the same B.O.B., it's a different level of talent. And I think that talent will trump, those situations where normally the Texans don't overcome things. Because, again, like this whole season, to me, in my opinion, there's been things happening with this Texans team that don't normally happen in our favor. And so that's why I feel different again. But you're right, though. We can't count it until it counted. Until that clock hits 0, the game ain't over with. You know what I mean? So we can't automate times, because you got to think about it, too. Going up there to New York, the weather's going to be hostile for our situation. But the fact that we can run the ball, that we try to run first, that we are a run first team, and not so heavily dependent on the pass, that works in our favor, And so I think that's going to be a bit of leverage for us. And then again, going back to the East Coast, to the Eagles. So you got 2 games in a row where you're going to be dealing with the cold weather. And so that falls in their favor. And so let's not, underestimate that. But hey, when you in a game and you winning, you ain't thinking about the cold. As long as you winning, it ain't cold. When you start losing though, it's chilling in the motherfucker. Like, God damn, we didn't turn the AC. You gonna start feeling that shit. But as long as the Texans are up and doing what they supposed to do, I think they'll be all right.
Yeah, absolutely right. And like you said, it's a possibility, but right now, I guess it's a competence or talent versus incompetence. And Bill O'Brien's incompetence has been around a lot longer than Deshaun Watson's talent. So I'm hoping for the better.
That's true.
Yeah.
That is true what he just said. That's very true.
All right, y'all. I'll let y'all get back and get some more calls in.
All righty, Titty, man. Appreciate you calling in, baby. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling in on the sauce line this evening? Hung up on a nigga. We ain't want to talk with him. Why you call? You ain't want to talk to him. Goddamn. What's the fucking deal? You know what I'm saying? Again, you say no dominant offense, no dominant run game, no dominant QB play. But yeah, that's part of it though. Like I say, this line and that's why I say that's where my confidence lies. Like in the line, because we were talking about it yesterday. The trenches, man, is where everything happens. So we'll get to it after this. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling in on the sauce line this evening?
Is that no trouble?
Ashmel, what you want to drop on the sauce line this evening?
Not much, man. I don't think I can remember a most exciting ending to a season as it's starting to be for this one. You're talking about the Steelers that are starting to choke and might miss the playoffs. I got them missing the playoffs. I got the Ravens going in there and sneaking in the 4th seed.
This is very possible.
Their division, and the Steelers beating the Patriots but losing to the Saints, and probably either losing that last game to the Bengals
or not. I mean, the Bengals could definitely spoil that game for them, which is crazy to even think about. But I think the Chargers, bro, are freaking hot. I doubt that they lose another game. They're gonna beat the Chiefs. They're gonna punch them in their mouth, and I'm sure the Chiefs probably will only drop one more game. But I'm not counting on the Texans taking on the 1 seed. I'm counting on the Texans taking that 2nd seed because I do believe the Patriots dropped that game to the Steelers. And then I want to see the Colts get in the 6th seed, bro. I want to see the Colts because that would put the Patriots at 3, and then that means that the Colts will play the Patriots in Foxborough. Andrew Luck with Tom Brady, bro. That's gonna cost each team some type of effort. They're probably gonna go, head to head, toe to toe on that match, and who knows? Probably whoever has the last possession is gonna end up winning that game. So that's gonna be interesting. And then to see the Chiefs go against the Ravens again, possibly be in the 4th seed, and then the Chiefs be in the 5th seed. That'd be crazy itself. But ultimately, I'm down with Tinny. It has to be one game at a time. You can't take the Jets for granted. The Jets just had a tough game with the Bills. The Bills' defense is no joke, and they still went in there and got a win with, basically nothing. They have nothing to win. They have nothing to play for, but they're still out there trying to get a win, and them boys are fighting. Them boys are still going to show up. They're still going to try to punch you in your mouth, and they're at home. So the Texans have already been talking about it all week. They can't take this as this is just a automatic dub. They have to go in there, take it serious, run that ball because it's going to be raining. Lamar Miller has to get at least 200 yards, and I'm pretty sure the score is going to be low because of how much running there's going to be in that game. But, I mean, you still going to abuse their secondary, except for Adams, obviously. But, yeah, man, and then they have who do they have next after the Jets? They have
the Eagles.
Who do they have after the Jets?
Talking about the Eagles after the Jets.
I know they ended up finishing with the Jaguars, but they have the Eagles. And the Eagles, bro, I think the worst thing that could have happened is Nick Foles going in there and playing. You got to remember, Nick Foles is on a 1-year contract. He's trying to prove to the league that he's a starting QB. Or he's trying to prove to that organization itself, like, hey, I took it to the Super Bowl. I won this fucking Super Bowl. I'm trying to be the starting QB here. I mean, this dude came in, he didn't really doing much. So he has something to prove too, and when that when that dude gets going, bro, he can literally torch us just like Andrew Luck did. So that right there to me is a freaking trap game in December in Philly, bro. It's no joke. So these last 2 games I'm with Tinny, bro. You have to take it one game at a time. You gotta be prepared. You can't think that they're gonna go over there and just give you those games. These teams are trying to ruin your life. They're trying to ruin your playoff run, and that's what it's about. So it's very interesting, bro. But I'll ultimately have the Chargers going 1 and the Texans going as a 2nd seed.
Okay.
Very possible.
Yeah, and I mean that'd be a very interesting scenario that you dialed up there. That would be make for some good football to watch, and I think it would surprise a couple of folks, especially some of those experts. But I think it'd be pretty interesting to see the Ravens and Chiefs go at it again. I think what you said with the Colts and the Pats, that would be a good matchup between 2 pretty good quarterbacks. It'd be nice to see. But ultimately, like you said, like everybody's saying, man, it's one game at a time. Let's not count our chickens before they hatch. Anything can happen in 3 games. I mean, upsets happen. I mean, the standings could get shook up. I mean, motherfuckers could just fall off. You never know. Ben might not be good to go. He might not make it through half the damn game. You saw he was dinged up last game. It could be a whole bunch of different things that could take place. And shit could just get all shook up. Like I said, we just got to wait and see. But we got to be concerned about the Texans handling their business. And ultimately, against this Jets team, there's no real excuse. Weather, because I know they said they were practicing outside this week because of, trying to get somewhat prepared. But shit, it ain't been that cool. It was cool. I think Tuesday was a little cool. But shit, it ain't motherfucking me been that cool, so you ain't getting prepared for that shit. You'd have done better going inside the bubble and cutting on the AC or some shit. So again, like I say, it's gonna be interesting to see what happens ultimately. But the weather shouldn't be that big of an impact. And the same way it's going to impact us, it's going to impact them. And I have no confidence in Darnold, honestly. Like people like try to make it, that Darnold showed us a glimpse of his future with that comeback. What the fuck is y'all talking about? Like, I didn't see anything great out of that. Like I said, I don't know if y'all saw it or y'all watched it. Like I said, I saw nothing amazing out of that. Like, again, he was going up against Allen, and that is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't see anything astounding that just wanted me to crown this guy. This we were talking about this yesterday, and I kind of want to know your feelings. This crop of rookies compared to last year's crop of rookies.
Oh man, last year was way better.
Because I mean, I'm just looking. The only one who's actually done something decent, in my opinion, is Baker, considering his situation. And he hasn't just done all that outstanding. He's made some plays. He's had some, some nice runs. But again, when he faced up a top 5 defense, when he plays some Dallas defenses, we see it's a different story. But all in all, man, I don't think this was an overrated class. But the Kuipers of the world and those guys, they gonna hype. Oh, he's gonna be the next biggest thing, gonna take the league over by storm. They always gonna say some old.
And
bullshit.
then they use the excuse of the teams that they went to. Then they use Josh Allen, he ended up going to the Cardinals, and Josh Rosen, he ended up going to the Bills, and Darnold, he went to the Jets, but he was supposed to turn the Jets around, from what I heard.
Yeah, they was all over. That's why he beat on McCown, and he was day one starter, and all that shit,
And then they took that 40 burger that he put up on the I forgot who that was. They played week 1. Oh, they was like, he's arrived.
Yeah.
Man, you know how these motherfuckers be getting, bro. I'm like, at the end of the day, if whatever quarterback that y'all shitting on, and guess what? Out of all of them, who played the best and who I said was gonna play the best, fucking Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson outside, especially had he won this Kansas City game, he automatically would have been above Baker because they would have had the same amount of wins.
Yeah, so
I mean, what Baker got? One more win than Lamar Jackson right now?
What do you got? What Baker got? 4? What do you got?
4 wins, 5 wins. I think they just went 5. I think they just went 5-8-1 because they beat the Panthers. So yeah, he's 2 games ahead of him in starts. And at the end of the day, if you start Lamar Jackson way sooner, they honestly could be a 9 and whatever. They could honestly be a 9-14 right now.
But Tyrod didn't get none of those, or was it all on Baker? When did Tyrod get pulled?
Tyrod got pulled like week 2, week 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. They was arguing on one of the networks, asked if we could beat the Cowboys again if we played with Amari Cooper. But again, that was the team that they brought out. This is what kills me. Like, yeah, we can beat them with Amari Cooper because, again, it's a different situation for us. We ain't the same team that played them that week. So, the thing about that is, can they beat us? That's what counts. Talking about the Cowboys. Because
Cowboys?
Yeah, not worried about Amari. Because the thing is, the Cowboys is success. Yeah, they've been eating with Amari, but a lot of their success still is you see Zeke powering up on a lot of these teams. Zeke couldn't do nothing. It's still the same Zeke. You know what I'm saying? That still makes them one-dimensional. Then so that's
we take away Zeke again. You really believe in Dak Prescott to go ahead and go down the field and win the game against the Texans? Be serious, bro.
Okay.
I'm just why who brought this guy up? Like, why are we talking about? How did Amari Cooper get brought up?
They said somebody on one of them networks was talking about that. Could we beat him again? And that's my thing. Is like, it kills me. Who was?
Yes,
they
we
said
beat him again.
Somebody said somebody in the city was talking about. I think they said was it Paul? Somebody called and said Paul, or one of them radio personalities was saying that they think Dallas will do better than us in the playoffs. And again, like I say, this is why I say, especially with your Houston programming, man, and I'm not knocking everybody. It's a couple of good listens in town, but I'm not saying as far as entire stations. You got to pick your personalities that you listen to, because you can't just listen to everybody on every network, because a lot of it be trash. Like I said, I don't really listen to the shit, especially since we've been doing the sauce. Like I listen to it less and less, and then like I said, I've been listening to some motivation on my damn on Spotify or something. But every now and then, I'll catch just to see if it's some news that maybe I might have missed or something. If I'm going here or there, but it don't be for more than like 5 minutes at a time. And I catch some of it. Was it the what's the midday one? Was that Triple Threat?
Triple Threat is at night. So that means In the Loop. In the Loop is the one from like 10 to like, I want to say like 2 or some shit like that. 10 to 2, and that's with the one code. That's John Lopez and fucking Landry.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like I say. That's the one I think I caught the other day, and I was just I'm like, I ain't too keen on this. It's kind of it is what it is. So, you say Nate Thick Adams and Chris Carter only go. Yeah, look. I'm telling y'all, look, Hopkins might be putting that work on. She seemed to get all giddy every time you mentioned it.
What you gonna see fucking what's her name? What's her Kyle gonna be like? Golly gee, guys, golly gee, stop porking my gal, stop porking my gal.
That's what I'm saying, man. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Here's the thing, though. Here's the dealy dally. We got a couple more texts. We're gonna read a couple of these texts real quick, and then we're gonna get ready to wind it down here shortly, and then we get prepared for the den. We gonna talk about something crazy tonight in the den. We gonna push the borders tonight. Say name the teams you want to play in the playoffs and don't want to play in the playoffs, and why. I'm not line them up.
I want everybody.
Yeah, line them up, because like I said, I don't want nobody coming. Well, if it would have been such and such, I really want Kansas City. That's who I want. That's who I want.
I want that Mahomes and Watson matchup. Yeah. I feel like as long as Mahomes is on the field, he should be able to make everybody else around him better. And you don't need Tyreek Hill, because you gunning that hole down the field. You can hand the ball off to Spencer Ware and throw it to guys after what I just saw you do, you know what I'm saying, to the Ravens. So I don't want to hear that shit that Tyreek Hill ain't on the field and y'all could have won. Now, I don't want to hear none of that. We ain't got no O-line, so what's the excuse then? I don't want to hear none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? So I want Kansas City more than anybody. I want Kansas City. I want Kansas City more than I want the fucking New England, because New England to me don't even feel like the same team. Like, it's just like you seeing them, like, you see a lot of vulnerabilities on the offense and the defensive side of the football for them, and it just seemed like, even though they got 9 wins, it just don't do. I mean, to you, Honcho, does this New England team seem like New England to you?
No, it's something. They getting the wins, but it's just something about this. It just doesn't seem the same. It doesn't seem like they had that legacy. And I know everybody's talking about is Tom Brady losing his luster, and I don't think it's necessarily just Tom. It's just something about it. It doesn't seem to flow like most New Orleans teams. Except to me, they don't seem like they've been as dominant as some of those New England teams in the past. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling on the sauce line this evening?
Hey, what's up, Honcho? It's Ernest, man.
Ernest, what's the motherfucking deal, man? What you want to drop on the sauce line this evening?
Yeah, man, I want to comment on what Wink just said, about New England not feeling like the same team. I thought of something. You know how they say, like the NFL is really, it's a business, bro. And you can't make emotional decisions when it comes to personnel. And that's why I got to take my hat off to Bill Belichick. Because no matter how many rings he got with Tom Brady, the man seen the writing on the wall. He wanted to get rid of Brady and keep Garoppolo as the future, as the heir apparent. But Robert Kraft wanted to make these emotional decisions because that's Tommy boy. And like we saying, they ain't the same, bro. Like, I don't know what it is. I can't put my finger on it. But this is not the same Patriot team, bro. But anyway, that's what I got, man. I'm going to hang up and listen. Appreciate it.
All right, Ernest, man. Appreciate the call,
the stat lines for Brady have been trash this year. Like, I think Deshaun Watson is like ahead of him in passing or some crazy shit. Like, he's not a top 10 passer. His touchdowns this year have been trash. He done thrown a lot more picks.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? At least it feels that way.
They was comparing Rodgers to Brady, because I know Skip and them, they was beefing and they was talking that shit. And I think, but it was like 21-1 to like, or 20-1 to like 21-9 or something like that. With Rodgers only having like 1 pick, 25 TDs, 8 picks. Okay, there you go. Yeah, and that's not saying it's still solid, but still, that's not Brady-esque, man. It's not the same. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling on the sauce line this evening?
It's your boy Swisher, man. What go down?
Oh man, Swisher, what's the motherfucking deal, man? What you want to drop on the sauce line this evening, man?
First things first, shout out to the round, man. And most importantly, I want all that smoke come playoff time.
I do too, bro.
Fuck Kansas City. Fuck New England. Hell, fuck whoever's gonna be in the wild card round. Shit, we ain't worried about that because we ain't gonna play there. But yeah, come playoff time, we want all that smoke.
Yeah.
I want it all.
Exactly.
Like, for real. Ain't no hoe in Texas, man. Ain't no hoe in Houston, period.
I agree with you, man. I agree with you. And that's what I say, man. And that's the thing is like, because honestly, I feel like when you look at who's in the mix as far as complete teams, you're looking at a Texans team who, and I keep telling y'all, man, I feel like when it comes down to it, when it's, hey, it's win or go home, you're going to see Deshaun from last year. You're going to see that offense open up because then you can afford to take that risk if he get dinged up and he ain't available next game, because if you ain't playing next week, then shit, what does it matter? So I think they're going to let him go all out when it needs to be. But right now, you just trying to finish this season healthy, get your positioning. And then when it comes down to it, I feel like early on, you're going to see Deshaun ball out. They get a healthy lead, then expect, him to do the BOB thing and try to, squeeze it out and, go conservative, expect that. But early on, I expect Bill O'Brien to start opening up the playbook in the playoffs because I think he wants to get a healthy lead and make sure that he comes out with the win. I think
one more thing I want to drop. It's funny, you know what I'm saying? And this is what I think might happen come playoff time. And I believe, how they say karma's a bitch. I feel like this is the year New England going to get their fucking karma, and they're going to get everything that's coming to them.
It's possible.
I don't know if it might happen in the first quarter or when it might happen in the game, but I think somebody might roll over on Brady knee, and that's going to be just like how they won their first Super Bowl
come running.
The tuck rule with that bullshit call.
Yeah.
I feel like that season gonna get wiped away on some bullshit, just like how they got away with it.
Yeah, look, I don't want no, I don't want them to get hurt because motherfuckers look, knock on wood, because motherfuckers will be like, well, the only reason they won is because Tom went down. If Tom wouldn't have went down, even though he only had 32 passing yards in the first half, I think
when it come down to that, I ain't look. I'll be like, man,
fuck all that.
Because
fuck all that.
New England fans, y'all like to wave and show off your Infinity Gauntlet, supposedly rings and shit. And all
they was
that.
beating us with Jacoby Brissett.
The NFL need to show some fucking morality, and I'm glad all this shit is happening to them. But y'all go ahead and continue to show. Shout out to Wink and around. Y'all keep going at it and drip the sauce, man.
Yeah, I really appreciate you calling in, Swisher, man.
Already, bro.
And here's my thing. I see that folks, in the chat. Here's my thing. I'm not saying that the Patriots are out of it. But let's be honest. They have not. They don't look like the same Patriots. I mean, if you look at that first game, again, the situation. The only reason, honestly, they really got that is because we gave them great field position early in the game. And they took that and capitalized. They didn't blow us out. Was that a 7-point game? We gave them that fucking 7. You know what I'm saying? And that's that. They weren't moving the ball on us like that. This defense comes in.
They only scored 3 points and a half against the same secondary.
Exactly. And so that's what I'm saying. And that's what a young now you're talking about Reed ready now? Come on, I think we talking about a whole different ball game, man. What's the motherfucking deal we got calling on the sauce line this evening?
Hey, what's going on, Mr. Ed Honcho?
Man.
Wink, how you doing? This is Big Al. How are you?
Big Al, what's the motherfucking deal, Big Al? What you want to drop on the sauce line tonight, man?
Oh, man, hey, I think you hit the nail on the head, just a few minutes ago. In order to succeed in the playoffs, you have to be healthy. That's the number one thing. You got to be healthy. Without health, man, you can't go far, Another key issue is that offensive line has to be healthy, and they've got to get their mind, they got to get their head right, because you have penalties, man. Penalties will kill you. That's another thing. Heading into the playoffs, that's a key component, man. Is penalties and health. But as far as Bill O'Brien, me and my girl were talking. We were watching. We've been watching Bill O'Brien for the past 5 years, and we're thinking, man, why is he trying to copy Bill Belichick and his system? I'm kind of getting tired of the New England Patriot experiment, man. We have to have our own identity, bro. And without building an offensive line, like you said, man, you got to win the war in the trenches. And I don't care how good of a quarterback you have. If you don't have a dominating offensive line, you can't win the war in the trenches. You can't run the ball. And if you have a running quarterback, he's going to get killed, going to get sacked. You've got to have that offensive line tuned up, man, and, winning the battles inside. Because without that, man, it's like having a foundation of a house, man. You got to have a strong foundation. If not, your house is just going to fall apart, man. And that's kind of what I
The
love.
O line
Deshaun,
not get
man.
fixed till
And
next year, bro.
I tell you, man, it hurts me, man, to see him go down, getting sacks, trying to. Now, if you have a strong offensive line, yeah, you can extend plays, but because you have the time to be able to see plays develop, and that's what scares me, man. I'm afraid he's going to end up like with all the other running quarterbacks. Look at Randall Cunningham. Look at Michael Vick. Look at Kaepernick. Did they all win Super Bowls? I don't think so. I don't think the history, they never really had really strong offensive lines, and they just relied on their legs. And that's what I worry about Deshaun, man. He's got to, that coaching staff, man, they have to concentrate on building the offensive line. And that's got to be their identity, man. Like if Bill O'Brien wants to run the ball on first down, you've got to have the personnel to be able to do it. So, hey, man, I'm going to hang up and listen. And thank you for taking my call. Hey, Wink, shout out to you, man. And you guys are smart, man. I appreciate everything you do. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
We appreciate that, Big Al, man. But I will say, man, we trust me, we all preach, man up and everybody, this isn't no new information. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knows that the line ain't all that, but I can still commend this team and commend Bill O'Brien. And as far as the New England experience, that shit been over for weeks now. For months now. What am I talking about? Like, we are not doing the same shit that New England is doing. If anything, we have to manage the clock. We have to run the ball more because injuries has happened. Losing Will Fuller took, some steam out of what Bill O'Brien would have been able to do in terms of play calling because he has that deep threat option. I honestly say Will Fuller is probably one of the more valuable pieces, if not the most valuable piece on offense outside of this O-line and Deshaun Watson. I'm not saying he's better. I would never say he's better than DeAndre Hopkins, but in terms of how valuable he is and how he opens up plays for everybody else, including the shit downfield, he is extremely valuable. So I think when he comes back, you're going to definitely need another player and exactly like him. When the draft rolls around, you're going to need another 4.3, 4.28 speed type of dude. You're going to need a guy like Antonio Callaway, somebody that can get across the field. You know what I'm saying? Because if anybody like that goes down, you're going to need somebody to step that back up. And I don't believe Kiki is going to be able to do it deep like they are. And not to say that DeAndre Hopkins and Marius Thomas aren't going to be able to go down and make some deep plays along with the tight ends. And, if they got the running backs involved more in the passing game, I think it would take a lot more off of these guys' plate. Dumping the ball down, letting Lamar Miller go ahead and get like 3 to 5 yards, 7 yards in space, you know what I'm saying? And then running the ball, coming off play action, that will bode well for your football team. And then your offensive line gains traction and they gain way more confidence and you can exploit and do things with what you want. But how is it a fan? I know all of these things, but inside of the organization, they choose not to make these decisions with the talent that they have even right now that's been getting them wins. Because the line can't be that goddamn bad with 9 wins. Like, these dudes they ain't in the hunt. They are definitely in the conversation in terms of being the top. They're a top 3 team in the AFC right now in terms of record. That you cannot take away. Well, 4 if you want to count, what the Chargers are doing, but they're not in the seed. You know what I'm saying? They haven't taken that seed. But this O-line problem, bro, this shit's not going to be fixed until next year. We need to get on off of that move. We need to stop repeating ourselves when it comes to that info because the corners in the O-line situation is not going to be fixed until next year. Brian Gaine is going to have more than enough assets and he's going to have more than enough money in free agency to make sure that he wants his quarterback protected and that he wants his running backs to be the most proficient they can be for years prior.
And here's my thing.
He is going forward.
Here's my thing, and you made the statement about Watson being a running quarterback, and I kind of agree with what some other folks saying. To me, he's a passer first, but he has the ability to use his legs.
Exactly.
That line, and then like you say, that line is going to be what it is, and we can look back to, early on, and what I think a lot of people have to account for too is you got to realize ultimately we lost our starting left tackle. First couple of plays of the game, so that was a big damage. That was a big dent. Right tackle, big damage, big dent. In the game immediately. So with Henderson gone, we out of there. Then you have Rankin come in, and Rankin for 3 or 4 games straight was the weakest link. Let's just be honest about it. I mean, he was just giving up free rushes. He was confused. He wasn't blocking people. That was a situation where, he missed that block again. And whatchamacallit had Miller out for a game because, with the shoulder injury, because he blocked 2 motherfuckers on that touchdown for Deshaun. Like, there's a lot of little things because we can sit and say, oh, we were so bad. But in what game have we gotten blown out this year?
Not one.
There's not one. Every game has been winnable. A bunch of them been by, a couple of points. And then you have again, like I say, a touchdown or so, whatever it may be. You have to look at where they've taken advantage. Now, I think if you come with this line that we have now, keeping Rankin out of the lineup, those other games look a little bit differently. Again, when pieces are coming in and out, they have to mesh. They have to know their role. They have to understand certain things. Looking at when, Fulton and Kelemete kind of, the thing with the line is not even that it's just the talent is so terrible. But what you did say that made sense is the health, because ultimately that's what it is. Because when you got Kelemete going down every game or twice in a game, you got Fulton missing, a few games here and there, and then you have to you get put in a position to where you have no more linemen. You got everybody in the motherfucking game. Everybody you done dressed out. If somebody else go down, it's a wrap. You gonna have Webb playing on the line. You're doing everything else. So shit. But seriously, it's just that I think that they're serviceable, and Watson makes him look a lot better from what his skill set is. But I mean, we just got to roll with. That's what we got this year. Like I said, ain't no shit for the change till next year, till free agency, till the draft and things like that. So we just got to be hopeful that they can remain healthy. And I saw somebody say that Fulton is back in practice, or he's back practicing. That's good. That's ideal because we need that. And I see you mentioned this Amber kid. I have to, like I said, I have no idea who he is. I have no idea. What he is. And again, with the speed thing, like you mentioned, I'm still trying to figure out what's the motherfucking deal with Vincent Smith, because that's what they kept him for, right? And they actually played him a couple of times early on in the season, but then yet he hasn't even been activated, or he hasn't been, he ain't dressing out or whatever. And it's just like, come on, what the fuck is going on? But here's the deal. Before we wrap it up, man, I had a couple of good texts. There's a bunch of calls were coming in, so I missed some texts. Jay Bird had a few good texts. Yeah, this was say Sean Trill. Yeah, boys when they was calling him all shit Trail and all that. I was telling that boy was gonna be Sean Trill, you know what I'm saying? But we have a couple of good ones here, man. So we got he says Jay was saying earlier, we said you got to get a receiver credit for running a great route against Wright. He had no safety help on the double. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. He did. He ran an excellent route. He bit, and that was it. You know what I'm saying? So I mean. Because look, Reed didn't have his best game this game. Let's be honest too. The rookie show, he's still a little bit of a rookie, so he had a couple of little mistakes he made this game. They just says, do you think Klein can be playing bad on purpose because he knows they won't sign him to the deal he wants? I don't think so. Because ultimately, he knows if you do that, then that's going to not only diminish your value in the eyes of the team, but it's going to diminish your eyes.
That's around the league.
Yeah, all the way around the league. So I don't think that would be the case. Says, name your starters on offense if all players are healthy. 3 wide receivers, a running back, and a tight end. Shit. How healthy? If everybody's healthy, I'm probably going with Foreman as my back. I'm going to be honest. I like Miller. I like what Miller's been able to do. But I feel like Foreman and the versatility that he gives you, that size that he brings to the table, I'm gonna go with him. You got Hop, and if everybody Hop, you got fucking Hop, DT, and Fuller. If everybody's healthy, that's what I'm gonna
I honestly believe next year they'll be able to have 2 gun sacks, and you'll be able to have both of them boys in the backfield. You know what I'm saying? You got one blocking, you got one running. You know what I'm saying? You can run all types of power plays. It's all kind of things you can do once Deontay Foreman is back into the fold. You know what I'm saying? But in terms of, like receivers, of course Hopkins. I say Thomas, then Fuller. Have Fuller and a slot killing these dudes. Who's gonna be able to guard Fuller? And you can always interchange. It's not gonna be like, okay, he's only gonna play in the slot. No, you can get him on the outside, and we done seen him eat on the outside. We done seen this dude truck dudes. We done seen him do all kind of shit. You have Kiki come in on 4 wide receiver. Then you can become a vertical offense.
Yeah.
You can do all these plays and these cross route and all the shit you want to do down the field once Will Fuller is back. You can do that all day. You know what I'm saying? And in terms of tight end, Jordan Thomas has to be the starter from here on out. I don't even understand why the fuck Ryan Griffin is starting right now. Period. I don't understand how he gets more reps. And they trust him on third down more than they trust Jordan Thomas. I mean, he came up big on some plays this past game, but we're not gonna act like that's his history because we know it's not.
Yeah. All right. Then he say flip the script. Basically, Dave, your defensive starters are all healthy, but in a 4-3, I'm putting Clowney and I'm putting Merciless on the edge. And then
that's what I said. It would be Merciless. It would be Merciless. It would be what? No. It would be JD. It would be JD because if we going if we going from left to right. So my left end, I'm gonna put. Matter of fact, I put JD on the other side. I put him as the left end versus him going against the left tackles. I would allow because he has the better pass rush move. I would have Whitney as the right end. I would have Watt on the inside, and I'd have Rita in the inside. You do that, what are you going to do against that?
You got nothing, and that's what kills me about this. I understand, you want to have the versatility at your linebacker, but I mean, shit, you still got the talent. I mean, I know Cole, he got dinged up, so I know that was an issue. But still, with Cole Cunningham, McKinney, and shit, and who else you say? If everybody's healthy.
McKinney is my middle linebacker. I would have McKinney as my middle linebacker. I would have Cunningham as my wheel, and as my Sam, and I would have Cole as the wheel. Okay. I would in that order. I would do exactly that, and I would have J-Jo as my number one, and I'd have in terms of what we have right now, I would have K-Jo as the 2. I would have Honey Badger free. Strong safety read.
Yeah, I think you line up like that. I mean, who's stopping that? And that's what kills me about. I don't know why we've talked about this for quite some time. Why the Texans don't run a 4-3? But
I don't know.
It seems more ideal. But again, we'll figure it out. Hopefully, like I say, I don't know. Some changes may have to be made if things continue to get exposed in the fashion that they are. Because it should be a number one defense, honestly.
That's too much push in the middle. Yeah. That's too much push if you got all of them dudes on the line. And you mean to tell me with the way that Whitney can swim, and you mean to tell me with the explosiveness that JJ got, and how he would help DJ Reader being right next to him, sucking up blocks?
And somebody said earlier they were talking about I think they were saying that Pat D. Stab was saying something about Whitney not being happy with his status on the team, the way they're using him, and I won't blame him because here's my thing.
I don't either.
What's with this fucking dropping these dudes in the cup? These dudes you brought them in to be pass rushers. You brought Whitney in because he had a 13 sack year at Illinois or whatever when he came out, 13 or 16 something off the ball, and then came out. And that's what made him such a high pick. But then you dropping these motherfuckers daily in the coverage. What Clowney does again, he's not. We talk about he got a lack of pass rush move. It's even worse when you got to stand on 2 feet when you're used to having your hand in the ground. And we talked about this. Like I say, I've tried to make it that trend. It's confusing. It's different when you having to stand on 2 feet as opposed to putting your hand in the ground. It's different. Imagine running track. You know how you come out that block. You know what I'm saying? It's a complete.
And I don't know why they don't play more wide 9. Every time they play wide 9, it's always successful. I don't understand why they don't play more wide 9. I'd like 9 technique and having Clowney and wide cock out and being that wide and being able to beat and stretch the tackles out. And especially when you got guys like McKinney who can delay the blitz, and you got guys like Covington and Reader who can take up space in the middle, and you got guys coming around the edges. I just don't. Shooting down the A gaps and the B gaps. I don't understand how we see all of everything that you could be doing, but yet and still Romeo Cornell doesn't see fit to make that happen and take advantage. Because how are teams going to prepare for that? You can't prepare for that.
Well, and okay, I forgot tomorrow's it's the Chiefs and the Chargers on Thursday night, huh? I forgot all about it, so we're gonna find out some things a little bit earlier. Wow. I forgot tomorrow night, so that's gonna be interesting to see. Because Josh saying if the Chargers win and they lose one of the next 2 games, Ravens and Broncos, and the Chiefs lose the Seahawks, what happens is crazy. Say we'll have to see if the Chargers jump the Chiefs in the standings tomorrow night. If not, then we can only get the the number 2 seed. It doesn't matter as long as you get the 2 is just as good as the 1 in my book. As long as you get in a motherfucking bye week, that's all that counts. I want to say, should we?
I only want the Chargers to beat the Chiefs. After that, I need them to lose the next 2 games. You know what I'm saying? I need them to lose. I'm only rooting for the Chargers only to beat the Chiefs, and after that, fuck them. They need to lose, and they don't have no easy schedule going forward either.
I'm laughing at y'all in the chat talking about football players and shit. We're retired, you know what I'm saying? Retired, all that good shit. We had a couple other good messages. Somebody had texted in saying, we already know what that stands for, Pro Football Focus. Said that we're the weakest team in the NFL to have a 9-game. Man, we talked about this the other day. When I talked about the fucking the power rankings from last week. I did a short video last week on the power rankings and basically broke that down. And the team, they had us ranked 13. They put all these teams, the teams that we've beaten straight up, that they put over us, teams that have 4 or 5 wins. At that point in time, I think it was the Eagles were in the conversation as being better than us. There was a lot of nonsense. And that's why I say, man, don't bring me no Pro Football Focus shit, because that shit going out with the trash. Like, the shit is bullshit. Again, we told you, a bunch of mathematics and speculators, false statistics. You can make up numbers to say anything that you want if you manipulate them right. And again, it's opinion. A lot of this shit is personal preference.
It's opinion based.
It's like it's a bunch of tomfoolery, man. And these are guys who ain't never touched a motherfucking pigskin. They probably touch a football and cry, get a splinter or some shit, and just start like these are people who just want to be a part of the conversation. And they know they just stat nerds, you know what I'm saying? Some people have like what they call stat porn or whatever. They just like seeing a bunch of numbers and it make them feel good, you know what I'm saying? Like,
how many times have y'all ever seen them interview a football player? Football players do not respect Pro Football Focus.
That shit don't mean nothing to me. Like, I know it. I've never seen it. Like I say, it looks good. The little graphics they put up look good. But like I say, I don't take it if it's good or bad. It sounds good, but I don't care about nothing. I don't care if they trying to give the Texans props or specific players props. None of that shit mean nothing to me, because it's just it's a bunch of bullshit. Here's the deal. I see my boy.
And it's just like I said repeatedly, Honcho. Mm-hmm. It's just like I said repeatedly, Honcho. How many times have I said, bro? Nobody gives a fuck about Pro Football Focus until they talk about your team or a player that you like. Nobody gives a fuck about Pro Football Focus. Who's looking to go look for Pro Football Focus on nothing? Because it's cool to use that shit when your team winning or when it's a certain player. Oh, man. Yeah. Pro Football Focus said that Byron Jones is the number 1 corner in the league. And then he get fucking abused by DeAndre Hopkins, and then he drop all the way fuck down. You see, they not even consistent with the way that they do shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, at the end of the day, bro, when they said that Mr. Trubisky last year was better than Deshaun Watson, that's the end of the that's bro. Just go ahead and shut their lights out. Bury them like they buried old girl on fucking like Bill brother buried old girl on fucking Kill Bill, you know what I'm saying? But I ain't gonna give her no light, and I'm gonna spray her in the face with the mace this time. Like, I ain't finna give her nothing. I ain't finna. She can think about Pi May all the fuck she wants to. She ain't breaking out this motherfucker. She gonna be blind. She ain't getting no light. I just want her to sit there in the dark and think about what the fuck she just said. And that's how I feel about PFF. They don't even really matter, bro. And the fact that people even give credence to the bullshit that they talk about, and the fact that they actually take that analytical analysis, like, how in the fuck, like, how do you take these guys seriously because they give certain dudes grades, bro? And then the guys that go hard, everybody knows these niggas go hard. Like Aaron Donald, bro, everybody knows Aaron Donald because it's the eye test. You can jump off, and every time you see Aaron Donald, the dude is jumping off your fucking screen. It's a lot of other players that they don't give no credence to. You don't hear them say shit about Justin Reed. You don't hear them say shit about a lot of these rookies, you know what I'm saying, that's playing very well. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and it is what it is, man. At the end of the day, don't worry about what they got. That's what you got the sauce for.
Exactly. We're going to give it to you real. We may be Houston homers, but we're going to keep it 100 with you. We're going to be all the way honest with you. If somebody balling, they doing something solid, we're going to give it to you. If they not, even if it's on our team, we're going to give it to you. We're just going, we're going to keep it 100 with you. We waiting on one last, see my boy Chandler tried to call in. So I'm going to say the last call for Chandler because I cut it off. Got to show some love. Chandler always holding down the sauce.
What's Jay Dizzle at?
Jay Dizzle must be on the road, man. Okay, let me see who we got calling. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling in on the sauce line?
Hey, Honcho and Wink. How are you guys doing?
Doing good, champ.
All right, man.
Okay, so here's a thing. There's a scenario that like it happens or it doesn't happen. So what's gonna happen is that what if Kansas City loses like all three of their games? Because I know they have the Chargers tomorrow, they have the Seahawks on that Sunday night, I think, and they have the Raiders, which is the Raiders were catching up with the Chiefs, and then like New England, they had to go through Pittsburgh, which is I know they're going. Well, I mean like the Pittsburgh Steelers, they're going to beat the Patriots, and honestly I can see the Bills being the Patriots. So
could happen.
So those two teams might lose all three of their games, and that was my question to you guys.
Okay. Man, appreciate the call, Channel. We definitely finna spill some sauce on that man in the man. Now, look, you provided a very good point, and here's the deal. That's gonna be our last call of the evening. But here's the deal, man, because let's talk about it, because we like to bring up history. Folks like to we keep talking about Texans history. If we gonna play the historical card, let's talk about Kansas City's history. Kansas City always bails at the end of the year. It's been good so far, but the little pieces getting dinged up, heel hurt, Hunt out. It's prime, and then you got 3 good games. The Chargers.
Don't let anything happen to Kelsey.
Yeah, the Chargers are a team that could beat y'all. Seahawks is they balling right now. Seahawks is putting up a good fight. They're not gonna just be a pushover. And the Raiders just pushed you. The Raiders just dropped 33 on y'all. And again, I think they just dropped 33 on y'all, and it took y'all had 4. They had a touchdown up on the Raiders. And this is the Raiders. Again, and the Raiders feeling themselves. They got the little win on the Steelers, so they feeling like they can do something now. They've been making a little noise the last couple of weeks. Let's not be surprised if Chandler is right. That that the Chiefs could just as easily, just like we were just saying. Tenny said, hey, we just as close to 9-7 as we are to 12-4. The Chiefs are in the same position. I don't care about everything else. That it's been looking good up until this point, but let's be honest. Had to put up a hard fight against the fucking Ravens. That game against the fucking goddamn, who was it that they barely squeaked out? I mean, the game against the Ravens, then the fucking first game against the Raiders, and then like I say, by a touchdown. Then fucking, again, it's not they're not as dominant as motherfuckers really just want to make it seem. They have to put up these numbers because of what their defense doesn't bring to the table. So they have to do these things. Again, it's gonna be interesting. It's quite possible, man. It's quite possible that the KC could fuck around and lose out. This is just as possible as it is for us to win out and lose out. It's the same way it goes. So let's again, one game at a time. We see what happened with them tomorrow. Hey, and that's what I've been saying. Things have happened that put the Texans in position to do certain things. It could fall in if something could fall in line tomorrow, then we see that should be more motivation for the Texans, even though they say they're not worried about what's happening outside their locker room, and I don't blame them. But, Saturday you're going to see. And then Sunday we're going to be looking at a couple of games, see who does what. But it's a possibility either way, man. So I agree with you on that one, Chandler. It's quite possible. Now, you're saying the Pats having Pittsburgh and a couple. I think Pittsburgh is the biggest challenge they got left, if I'm not mistaken. I forgot who else they got outside of Pittsburgh. But the thing is, like I say, man, it's possible Pittsburgh's still feeling hungry. They know they on the brink. They fighting for their playoff lives. The Pats going to be fighting for a seed, or for a first or second seed. So it's going to be interesting. You know what I'm saying? See, what's up, Clarence? Clarence, man, how you been, man? Say Chief run game totally gone now.
Shit.
So Hunt was released. Andy Reid made
fucking Patrick Swayze. Fucking what Patrick Swayze just showed up. Nigga was this ghost. Like what the fuck? Like I'm Whoopi Goldberg now. Like we talking to fucking Sam Wheat. Where you been at, bro? Like nigga, I got a $4 million check that I need you to go ahead and cash, bro. I need that account number. You know what I'm saying? And everything, bro. Like where you been at, bro? Like we've been waiting. Where you been at?
Yeah, it's been a minute, man. It's been a minute. I hope all is well, though, man. But
Yeah.
But like we say, Andy Reid is known for that. So just the same way, if we're gonna talk about coaches and their tendencies. Look, B.O.B. may have his tendencies, but then, Reid has his tendencies. So it's a lot of other coaches in this league that, if we going by historical references, it's a lot of shit that can happen, man. But here's the deal, man. You know what I'm saying? We done almost pushed it to the 2 hour mark. So I'm gonna get ready to wrap it up. We're gonna get ready for some den action. We're gonna talk some shit in the den tonight. We're gonna find something interesting to discuss. And so make sure y'all slide in the den. Again, link is in the description. Make sure y'all check out everybody in the round table. Links in the description. Man, Wayne, you got anything you want to say before we slide up out of here?
And no, man, I appreciate everybody that came through. Once again, man, we had to take it old school. We had to give you a nice little Wink Wednesday. Hopefully we gave some good content today with a lot of good callers. Damn, we had a shitload of callers they called in today. You know what I'm saying? Everybody had a lot of good points. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to y'all for picking up the phone, letting us hear y'all voices, and being part of the sauce, because at the end of the day, we want to hear what everybody got to say. Hopefully, other fans, other teams, along with some guys that have been, in the chat but never called in. Some of y'all need to call in. Like some people, there's one particular, guy that's always critical of me. I mean, if you really feel some kind of way in the comment section, and every time I get on here and you see I'm on here, if you really feel some kind of way, you can always call in. Otherwise, shut your bitch ass mouth.
Mm-hmm. You hear me? You say the Pats got the Bills or the Jets after that? Yeah, Steelers today. Yeah, it's gonna take the Texans having to win out there, and the Steelers is the best bet for an upset. As far as for the Patriots, because Bills, Jets, that's cool weather. They good, they good in the cold. It's that Miami is who always give them trouble. So they already took that L. Steelers got to do their job, and Texans got to do their job and win out. But here's the deal, man. Like I say, man, I appreciate you. Man, I just missed. I seen Palace had sent one. We'll catch it real quick. He said, would you consider the Texans picking up Pac-Man Jones a good sign? He's still a free agent. I'll take him over right on the outside. I don't know.
I would in a pinch. Honestly, I would in a pinch because, I mean, you really can go into the playoffs. If you would assign him now, give him a couple of traction. He is a veteran, so he's going to be able to pick up the defensive scheme. And you got a guy like Honey Badger, and he's going to be a guy that's going to hold dudes accountable. And he's going to hold himself accountable for shit that he does. And he's solid in cover, so why not? It's another veteran presence that we could very well use. And at the end of the day, if you have him in a situation where he's your third corner, is anybody really going to be able to fuss about that?
Yeah, that's my deal and shit. Again, like I say, you have some dog, but we already know we got to. I don't know. It would determine if this Texans organization really has turned that corner as far as the talent that they're acquiring. But it'll be very interesting to see. But I doubt that. I don't really expect to see that one happening. You know what I'm saying? So, but I like Pac-Man. I have no problem with him. But I just don't know. I mean, I'm 50-50 on it. You know what I mean? Because the thing was right, like you mentioned earlier, right? He's made several good plays. You know what I'm saying? He has made several good plays this year. It just has a couple of situations where he done got done bad. But we can sit there and look at Pac-Man. There's been a couple of times we done There's been a couple of times we didn't see Pac-Man get worked over the same way. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. I mean,
I think for me it's more quality depth. I think that's really what it boils down to. I think he has quality depth. In case if a guy was to go down, somebody like that, I believe he could step up and make some plays. You know what I'm saying? And you probably won't have some of the guys in situations that they don't have to be in.
Yeah. You say Clarence say, listen to your homie work for the Jags, concerned about his job. Oh yeah, y'all finna clean house over there, man. Ain't no way you go from the top back to the bottom like that. And man, we told y'all, but we like I say, y'all thought we was trolling, we was talking shit, but we told y'all, man, y'all should have made a move for Bridgewater or made a move for one of these other young
Lamar Jackson.
Anybody, but
Lamar Jackson. Could you imagine Lamar Jackson with Fournette right now?
It'd be dangerous. That would not be something we'd be looking forward to. But like I say, but did I think y'all was going to be in as bad as it came down to this? I thought y'all would be. I thought we would be the Jags and the Texans being contenders in the league this year. But shit, I fell all the way back off, man. That I did not foresee. But
fourth place I didn't see. I figured second or third at the very least, because how they was pumping up the fucking Titans, because nobody really foresaw what the Colts are doing right now. I mean, the Colts is putting in work. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that the Colts, I mean, it's just, I mean, the pecking order is right back where it needs to be because next year it's going to be out of the Colts and the Houston. Who's going to have the better team? And if we talking cohesion in terms of O-line, they're going to already have their leg up on us. And if Andrew Luck happens to make the playoff, get a playoff win, goes out, that's going to give him even more confidence to go along and build along with this O-line. And all they're going to do is end up building their defense up. You know what I'm saying? So the Colts going forward are going to be a ferocious team after seeing what they have with the amount of talent that they got right now on defense. So, you know, next.
And then they got money too. They got. I think they got the most in cap space. So it's gonna be real interesting. What the Colts do? They gonna pull a rabbit out of a hat. So they're gonna be tough. They're gonna be real tough. So here's the deal, though. Like I said, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up, man. Like I said, we appreciate y'all for coming through, being a Den at 10. Like I say, just, man, appreciate all the support, all the love, man. Appreciate all of the super saucy, super chat love, man. Like I say, just everybody who's been holding down the sauce, man. I see that the boy C Benji say he followed the strippers on IG for research purposes. You know, I'm a researcher myself. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, let me know what you got. I'm fucking with you. But my deal is, again, just everybody who's been coming through, everybody who's been listening to the sauce, everybody who's been holding it down, and everybody who shoot the info via, you know, Twitter, via the gram or whatever it may be, man. We appreciate it. Like I say, just all the love and support, man. Again, I'm not watching no urinating tree. I don't even know what's going on with that. That just shit just sound throwed off. But again, we'll be in the Den at 10 talking some shit. We may continue some of that conversation we were having yesterday about the babies, because that was a very interesting conversation. So we may keep that going. I ain't quite decided yet, but make sure you're there at 10 o'clock. We'll be live tonight. And with that being said, man, hey, y'all be cool like y'all be cool. Chugging up a deuce. Y'all the freshest motherfucking ingredients in the world. Most of all, y'all stay saucy. Hey, we out.